I knew it was going to follow a great act. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Harold Strong, and I want to bring your attention to the program here where it talks about my little biography there, and it says 1967. In 1967, I thought I was still going to grow up and get married and have children, and all that whole thing. So the real year is 1976, and I'll get back to that shortly. I just had to make that correction there, okay? I'm here with my friend Frank as well. We're representing the Imperial Sovereign Rose Court, which, as you know, we are celebrating our 50th year come October. And the Imperial Sovereign Rose Court, over the years, has raised thousands and thousands of dollars for various causes, political, social, charitable, and I could go on and on and on and on about that. But I just want to let you know what we do, what we have been doing for the last 50 years, and we will continue to do so. Also, it's not, even though we're here in Portland, we have similar organizations throughout 65 chapters throughout the United States, Mexico, and Canada. So we're not alone in this fight. But what is unique about those and all of those organizations, and including Portland, is that for most of that time we did that in secret. When I became a member of the Imperial Sovereign Rose Court and the Portland Forum, those are the days where you used a stage name or you used only your first name. There were no lists, there were no phone numbers, there was no Rolodex, there was no email, there was no, whatever younger kids use today, black box, or all those things that you text messages. There was none of that. Most of us did this because we enjoyed it. It allowed us to be perhaps something that we weren't or we couldn't be in our private lives. And most importantly, it allowed us to be who we are. And I recognize, and I haven't seen Jerry in many, many years, and John in many, many years, and I was there at the creation of all of that when all this was taking place, and working very hard and very studiously behind the scenes to make sure it all happened. And that's kind of been my forte throughout the 30 years that I've been involved in this organization. So when Dave asked me to be this, I kind of objected for a while. But then after talking to my partner and several other people, I decided to come in and do this, and I am very happy that I'm here. The reason why I brought your attention to the year 1976 is because that's the year, in the month of October, that I had the privilege and the honor of being elected the second emperor of this court. And the unique thing about that is that there was only one before me, and the whole concept of emperor was new to the gay communities. New because the Rose Courts and the courts similar to those were all drag-based, and really were not open to you if you were not similarly attired in drag. In other words, there were very few male titles, there were no women titles at all, and it was, excuse the expression, predominantly white. And so there you go. So in 1976, you know, and I was thinking today as I was over here, and it didn't occur to me at the time. I didn't give it a thought. I had met some people, I got involved, and it became a challenge to me personally, because being a quiet person, I always take the opportunity to step on stage and do these things and be here with you. So in 1976, when the group of people that I was sitting with at the time says, "You're going to be an emperor," I go, "No, I'm not." But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, okay, I can do this. And I had just recently read a book by Sammy Davis Jr., his autobiography, and his whole, and the theme of that book was Yes, I Can. And I read that and kind of talked about, he talked about his early days as an entertainer and the challenges that he met with his family and brothers and brothers and coming up and being an entertainer and achieving the success that he had at the time. So that became my motto. And I said, oh yes, I can. And then the thought was, well, how am I going to convince 1,200 people, because that's the number that voted to vote for me in this position? Well, I did it. And I've never looked back since, and I have to say thank you very much for that. And we're still here, and we're still working at it. And unbeknownst to me at the time, and I didn't really realize this, although I should have, because in 1976, to be gay was okay. but to be gay and black was not okay. And I was under the impression that since we're all gay together, there is no form of racial discrimination. Well, and that's a true story, and I soon found out that that was not the case at all. So in the year 1976, when this organization was still trying to accept women and people who were straight and people who were of different ethnic backgrounds, it was quite a challenge. And I didn't know it at the time, and I didn't really recognize it and didn't really care. I had a job to do, and so I did the job, and I'm thankful for it because it's changed my life ever since then, and it keeps me involved in all the things that I've done since. But in 1977, I had the honor of going to San Diego, and I was one of the first recipients of the Jose Honors Award, which is an international award presented by the international court system to individuals who have contributed in their community, either court-wise or political-wise or whatever. And I was so honored, and I went up to accept my award, and they told me that this award is for being Emperor too, and I was kind of stunned. And it was brought to my attention then, a fact that I actually am the first publicly elected African male emperor in the United States.